Hello, everyone. This is another update on the ketamine infusion. So I've had 5 infusions so far over the period of 3 weeks. So I've had 2 week for 2 weeks, and then I had one this week on Monday. I was supposed to have another one today on Friday, but since I'm bipolar, what can happen with the ketamine infusion is as you go further along, your therapeutic benefits will last longer in between sessions. So I kind of started out doing Monday and Friday so that I had the max, time, because they wanted me to do it twice a week starting out for eight sessions over 4 weeks. So I wanted to stretch it out as much as I could. And so, just from the get-go, they said you have to have at least a day in between sessions. So you could go like Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, whatever. And so I decided, gotta lay right on top of me. Yeah, keep growing in, life's hard. Anyways, so you got to have a day in between sessions. You can't like do 2 sessions in 2 days in a row. So I was like, all right, well, let me stretch it out as far as I can. My first session was amazing. And it lasted about, I'm going to say 2 to 3 days. I think by Wednesday night, Thursday morning, I was starting to get agitated. Not so much depression or sadness, but I was starting to get agitated and anxious. And then by Friday, I was kind of, whatever. And I think that was my second session or third session. I think my second session, I think I had food poisoning. I can't remember for my second or third one, but yeah, one of those sessions I had food poisoning and was like kind of throwing up through the whole time. And I'd fall asleep and then wake up and throw up, and I don't remember any of it. My best session was session 4. I had an amazing time during the euphoria period. But it started to where by week 2, that 2 to 3 days extended to 4 to 5 days. And so by week 2, I had my dose on Monday, so dose 3. And then, or did I start? I think I started in the middle of the week. So like I had my first dose like near the end of the week, like on a random Thursday, I think. And then the following Monday, Friday, I had my doses. And the following Monday was dose 4, which was the best one. And, after my third dose, it was my third dose, I was good until Friday, or the next Friday or whatever it was. But I woke up that Friday like agitated, anxious, and was pretty upset. And then I had my I think between 3 and 4, I was agitated all week, or 2 and 3. Sorry, I'm all mixed up. It's hard to remember because like you can't really remember everything when you're during your euphoric period. So basically, like the first 2 sessions were good, and then like I think there was like one where I had one on Monday, and then I think that was session 3. Yeah, it was session 3. I had it, and then like within 30 minutes of the euphoria wearing off, my symptoms started creeping back in, and I was like upset and anxious the whole week until that Friday, and I got it. Then I was good till the next Monday, got it, and then I was good until the following Friday, right? So it's getting to the point where it's lasting more than 5 days. So my last dose was on Monday. Today is day 5. Well, going into day 6, and they bumped up my Rexulti, which helps to minimize my hypomania, manic symptoms, and I'm trying to think. And the doctor recommended, and this is definitely this is very important here. So if you're bipolar or 1 or 2 or whatever, what can happen as the ketamine infusions are going, the further you get along in the program, the longer it's going to work. Now, I was scared because after dose 3, my symptoms came back almost immediately. But then dose 4 was great. Dose 5, I was asleep the whole time, but it's been lasting, which I thought might have affected, like, oh, should I be asleep? And it's actually beneficial whether you're asleep or awake. I think it's a little more beneficial for your awake because you can work through things, like if you think about things, because you're just really happy and you're like coming to all these epiphanies, like you think you're the greatest thinker in the world. And then, yeah, but so it's been lasting longer. And so this week, it's Friday. I had my last dose on Monday, going on to Saturday. I feel calmer. I feel like the in Rexulti has definitely helped me, and the increasing the distance between infusions is going to help me too. So my next infusion is on Monday, and then that'll be my only infusion that week, and then it'll be so that'll be next dose of 6. So I've got 3 more doses, and then we'll reevaluate and kind of see. Some people only have to do like 1 dose every 6 months. Some people 1 a year. Some people never again. So some people have to do 12 doses as their starting round, and then they're good. And may need a maintenance dose every once in a while. So it's really good. It's the best thing I've ever done for my mental health, and it's amazing how well it's working for me with the combination of my antidepressants, my my antipsychotic Rexulti, and this. I feel calm. I feel way more motivated. Like when the wife asks me to do something, I'm jumping on it. I'm helping out more around the house, doing dishes, taking care of the pets, doing laundry, cleaning. My focus now is like on her and like making her happy, because for so many years, I was basically her patient. I wasn't her husband. I was so wrapped up in myself and so focused on my own pain and wanting to die, and I forgot about her, and I just took her for advantage. I remember we went to one couples retreat with the Wounded Warrior Project, and everyone was being like really open and honest around the table about their relationships, and she felt brave enough to come out and said, yeah, I love my husband very much, but lately I feel like he's more my patient than my husband. And like I was still like really struggling back then, and that really hurt my feelings. Like, and we had a big fight on the retreat, and of course we made up, but she'll tell me these things that, oh my God, Poppy. She'll tell me these things that I did in the past. Like she told me one time that this is right after I got injured and I'm still living in Germany. And she said, yeah, there were days where you would sit there all day and just stare at the blank TV and the wall. And she said, I would talk to you and you wouldn't say anything back, and I would beg you to talk to me. I would cry in your lap, and you would say nothing. You would just sit there like a stone. And I was like, oh my God, I don't even remember that. It's a TBI, traumatic brain injury, concussions, whatever you want to call them. And it still affects me to this day, the TBI. Like, when you walk into a room, you forget why you went in there. That happens to be a lot more than normal. I forget what I'm doing in the middle of doing things sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why is this in my hand? Why is this screwdriver in my hand? What the hell am I doing? So yeah, it's you got to laugh at yourself. I mean, because you can't control everything in life, and the one thing you can control is your attitude and your actual actions, you know, and you alone are responsible for your soul. I'm not a religious man. I don't believe in the classical God. I think that the universe is sentient. I think the earth is sentient. I think all life is sentient. And I do think the universe and earth are alive. Animals, whales are probably smarter than us. Dolphins are definitely smarter than us. I'm not a huge Joe Rogan fan, but he said one time, I thought it was pretty funny. He's like, yeah, dolphins, he's like, they don't waste time sending emails and big skyscraper buildings and shit. He's like, they get to eat for free and play all day. Like, who's the dumb ones? You know what I mean? Like, that's a good point. We're out here stressing, trying to pay for our BMWs or whatever, and these guys are just living it up, following boats, jumping off their wakes, Oh, man. But anyways, yeah, that's the PSA is if you're bipolar, just be honest with your doctor, because what can happen if your frequency is too often. Say if I was to get a shot today and I don't need it, an infusion, like I'm not having like major symptoms or anything, and I don't really need to saturate my brain in ketamine. I got to let my neuroplasticity grow, and change on its own. So I believe the more that I'm working it, and the faster I become at bringing my symptoms down. So like when something happens and it makes me rage inside, and I'm like, oh, I want to blow everything up, I'm able to be like, and calm down like a lot quicker. Whereas before I'd be pissed off all week, weeks sometimes. I would just be pissed off and not be able to calm down. And then I would just find things to piss me off because it was sick. I would want to feel more and more upset. And I never was homicidal or anything. Like I don't want to like go shoot up, the bell tower or anything, but I've never punched walls or anything like that. I would just sit there and steam and just shut down, I wouldn't be able to function because I was just sitting there steaming like a blown engine. So, I mean, you got to be honest with your doctor. You got to tell them everything. You got to be communicative to the max, 100% transparent with your doctor if you really want to get better. And you got to find the good doctors because not all of them are good. You got to find the good doctors. If you're talking to psychologists and you're plateauing or they're not helping you, fire them, find someone else that you jive with, find someone that's going to help you. It's like finding a good partner in life, right? That's the best thing you can do is marry a great partner, I think. And whether or not you're polyamorous or whether you're monogamous or questioning, whatever your relationship looks like, transparency is important, right? You got to be able to trust. And I'm sorry, but people don't earn my trust that quick. I can be naive at times, but when it comes to my mental health, I'm very skeptical. And, I've been thinking about this infusion therapy for years since I found out about it a couple of years ago. And I kind of fell to the wayside and I forgot about it for a minute. And then, this past year and a half, 2 years, I was really struggling. So it got to a point where I was like, man, these new meds aren't doing it anymore. And I'm sick of changing meds. So I tried something different, my Hail Mary pass. The issue is if you get the infusion too soon before you need it and you're bipolar, not only can it send you into a manic episode, if you're already manic and are still doing it, there is possible psychosis, meaning a break from reality, right? So be careful with this stuff. and be 100% honest about how you're feeling, your symptoms. You know, don't get addicted to the euphoria. Don't be just going back because it's making you feel good. You want the steady, calm, fly straight, right? Fly steady, fly straight. Don't be greedy, kind of situation. So, anyways, that's the announcement. I didn't want you guys to worry. I'm feeling good now. I'm taking a trip tomorrow to the Space Kennedy Center, and yeah, I'm going with another veteran, so we're gonna have a good time. And yeah, this is our first time hanging out, so I'm pretty excited to get to know her, and we're just gonna go up there, have lunch, come back, and you know, this is you know what we do in the veteran group. We bring each other up. She's definitely bringing me up, you know, by talking to me and being my friend, and you know, hopefully I'm bringing her up by hanging out with her and driving. And I mean, she has a car, but I offer to drive, you know, so I love driving. But got something in my eyeball here. I just didn't want you guys to worry about me, and I wanted to let you know that during this therapy that you want to be as truthful as possible and as open as possible. And even if you think it's stupid, communicate it. You know, even if you think it might not be a big deal, if it's like a little thing, and you're like, oh, that's probably nothing. No, you want to shine a flashlight on everything, okay? While you're doing this. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and as always, stay safe.